Hi people, this is my annual video where I reflect on the past year and my goals and just my journey online for myself and also for you. I really like videos like these. Like, I remember watching a Larray video where he was talking about growing up on the internet and getting targeted by like gay and black Twitter, which I can't relate to at all. You know, I've never been targeted by black Twitter, not yet. I'm sure it's coming one day. More so like the self-conscious stuff that he was talking about and like the self-image stuff I could relate to. I just like videos where creators reflect on their journey, themselves, how they've grown, and it's tradition at this point. I've done it, I'm pretty sure, almost every year. So, and if you're here, that means you're a core community member, okay? Because these videos don't get views like that, okay? So if you're here, you're a real one, okay? But we're just gonna talk about goals, accomplishments, what's coming up. I would say I would do my spiel, subscribe, all that, but I don't expect this video to reach a new audience, so I'm like, what's the point? But I do have TikTok, I have Instagram, Patreon, Discord, girl, you know. You already know. So first I want to start off with my accomplishments from the year, because I am a bit of a negative Nancy, and it's good to, you know, think about what I've done well in the past, because I have. And this year, even though there's a lot about it that made me a little upset, which we'll get to, because I have issues, mental illness, I did accomplish things. So we're going to start off with it. I got my first 100,000 view video. Okay, I'm that girl. Peaked early on, but at least I peaked. Okay, that was pretty amazing. Tripled, according to my statistics, my analytics, tripled my views from the last year. I think I got like over 150,000 in total. I don't know what the final number was, but if I feel it's relevant, I'll put it in post. So that means the year prior, I probably got like, was that 50,000? 2023? So that's pretty sick. Got to my goal of 6K subscribers. Like I said, I peaked early on, but at least I peaked. Did my first collab with Vincasso Jones. You can go check that out on his channel. I do really want to do more collabs. I have another person who I'm thinking, well, I've already talked to, and hopefully maybe some bigger creators. We'll see. I think that'll kind of break my brain a little bit because I like watch them, but if I can make it happen, you know, we'll make it happen. First year partnered. It's my partner anniversary, I think was in September. Like I said, I made some connections with creators in the industry, and I've had a few moments this year where I was like, it's kind of my game to lose, you know? It's kind of on me, you know, if I get scared, if I get back away from pushing forward and like networking and all that, I have the opportunity to grow and become bigger. It's just whether or not I'm gonna push myself to do it. Like I said, it's a little scary, but also I think the most important thing this year for me was like making high quality videos. I really made sure to, like, with my editing, you know, skim through it, watch it 3-4 times to make sure, which makes the video come out slower, but I just really wanted to make sure that the quality of my videos was up to par, because I've had issues in the past where, you know, there's like weird cuts or certain images are wrong, and I wanted to eliminate all that altogether. So I can surely say that this year I made banger after banger after banger, and that was the goal. So I'm very proud of myself for doing that, setting like a quality standard for my channel, and hopefully I can do that going forward. Hopefully I can hire an editor, because I freaking hate editing, but that seems a little far away. So if we're to talk about, you know, I said I made banger after banger after banger, which I meant, and I said what I meant. Favorite videos, definitely. I do feel like the views and the view count kind of can sway me, if I'm being a little honest with you. Okay, this is about honesty and transparency. Sometimes I feel like the view count sways me. I'm like, ooh, maybe I popped off. Like the cryog video essay, I think I did a good job on that. I was really freaking scared because I've never covered something that was that serious, and it's about like, you know, essay and grooming, and I just wanted to make sure I was like sensitive about it, and I was really scared that people were gonna like take it the wrong way, especially with me like explaining at the end cry and like how he came to be this way. I was scared that people were gonna like be like, why are you defending him? And I'm like, no, I'm not defending him. Okay. I think it's just important to understand why people are, I guess cry wasn't necessarily radicalized, but why they come to this position that they're at, and how do we prevent other people from arriving at the same position. But I'm really glad that it was really well received, and it was so nice to see in the comment section because it did reach such a wide audience. There was like people talking to each other and like sharing their stories, which was so sick. And it was the first time that I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I want out of YouTube. This is what I want every video to feel like. I want people to have like a space where they can share their thoughts and build a community and feel safe talking about these subjects. And that was like a glimpse into what I guess my future could look like. I also loved the Korean video about 4B and Burning Sun and all of that. I thought that was exceptional. I made a whole entire cinematic. Okay, never done that before in my life. Made a CRT preset to make it all aesthetic and nostalgic. Okay, I pushed myself to the limit. I'm gonna be real honest. I feel like, maybe I feel like that video should have banged a little harder, view-wise. But you can't appreciate the big stuff until you appreciate what you got, It is what it is. But I think the quality of that video was amazing. Love talking about radicalization. I think the story is just really fascinating. Korea right now is going through a lot with their president being impeached, and there's just a lot going on over there. Really fascinating story. If you have any other stories that are like similar vein about like radicalization in other places, or just, it could be in America, it doesn't matter. I love talking about like radicalization, so leave those in the comments. Another video that I loved was the social media in the election. Like I said, sometimes I feel like the view count can sway me, but this video did not. It underperformed, okay, let me just be honest with you. But I loved it. Okay, maybe it's because I got to talk about some of my faves. I got to talk about Hassan, who I probably talk about too much, and Denims and Central Committee and Sean the Black. I got to mention some of my faves, Austin Show, Valkyrie. So maybe because I'm a bit parasocial is why I love that video, but I loved it. I think it was a good intersection of like politics and internet culture and how the two can like intertwine. I think it was fun. Favorite One Piece video, since I've made, I'm pretty sure 6 One Piece videos this entire year, I would say either Impel Down or the Innis Lobby one are my favorite. Probably Impel Down. Honestly, the Impel Down one was less about One Piece and more about the political aspect of what that arc represents, but still liked it, going further and further down prison systems and how fricked up they are. Okay, so I did want to do like a Q&A as well. I got some questions that you guys asked me. So first one is, what do you think is the most difficult part of making a YouTube video? Now, I wouldn't say any part is necessarily difficult. Maybe I think the most mentally taxing is editing, because like I said, I hate doing it and it takes so long and I would just rather be doing something else with my life. I feel like logistically the hardest part also mentally to figure out is like uploading it, honestly, like the tags, and I don't know, I just freak myself out about a lot of that stuff because it's like people make it seem like it's a big deal that you have to get like right, and there's like this formula and there's like this perfect sweet spot you need to hit with like your tags and your hashtags or whatever, and the SEO. None of it makes sense, and I think over the years I've just come to realize that it's fake and hocus pocus and phony. I don't think it matters, because I've seen people do none of that and the video still fakes. So I think it's honestly just whether the YouTube algorithm wants to favor you. But I think like I said, mentally just kind of freaks me out, because maybe there's some way to game the system and I have to remind myself, no, there's not. Either editing or that. What do you see in your peer group age-wise that gives you optimism? What do you see from them that leaves you pessimistic? Optimism-wise is honestly the hardest part. There's not much, honestly. I think I would say that definitely in like the spring, seeing college students mobilize and organize for like Palestine was sick and amazing. I mean, college students are always historically at the forefront of movement and change, so I think that's always going to be a given, always going to be something that young people have. Pessimistic, I think even just seeing in my comment section, I mean, I think YouTube tends to lean very right-leaning, and right-leaning people are just loud as frick all the time. They always got something to say, so maybe it's coming to the forefront. I think just the trajectory of young men, or just men in general, is really concerning. Like I said in one of my videos, I don't remember which one it was, Reuters reported that young men are more right-leaning than 55 to 70-year-old men. Like, that is insane. That is an insane statistic, which can be solved and addressed. It's not going to, especially in the next 4 years, of course. So that's definitely concerning. I think it's just sad, honestly. I don't want people to feel lost in that regard, or like no one's looking out for them, or like, you know, they'll end up blaming like a woman. It's being like, you're what's making me unhappy, you're taking away my opportunities. I wish there was more systems in place to like help people like that, to take them away from that thought process, if that makes sense. But there's not, and it's just concerning. I think it's more sad than anything. Like, I'm not really mad at them per se. I'm mad at the systems that have allowed their radicalization to take place. But I think in that regard, it'll definitely get a lot worse before it gets better. RIP. What is your favorite video that you've posted on YouTube? Oh, this is a hard one. Normally I like curate my answers before I do this, but I totally forgot to do it for this one. I might have to look at my YouTube channel, honestly. I feel like it would probably be one of my video essays, but I don't know. I feel like that's such a hard question. That's like asking, you know, who's your favorite child? Okay, why would you expect me to do that? That's hard. My most well-made video is probably gonna come from this year. Maybe the South Korean video essay. I'm like, is that my favorite? I really don't know. I think that's probably my most well-made video. Because even like anime is political, even though that like got me monetized and was seen by like FD Signifier, which was huge. There's still a lot of issues with it that I've definitely gotten better at, like with the way that I read the script and all of that, the editing. Oh, that's really hard. But maybe the South Korean video essay, because like I said, I put my foot in that editing. I put my foot in it. That's a really hard answer. I'm not even like confident on it at all. Okay, do you have any favorite YouTubers beside Markiplier? I can't believe I had to exclude Markiplier, but okay. I'm not gonna take that personally, but whatever. Obviously, I really hate bringing this man's name up. Honestly, I hate bringing him up. Hassan, obviously. I don't even know. I feel like you should have excluded him. I feel like I talk about him more, and I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to. Obviously, he's a huge inspiration for what I'm doing right now, yapping to you all the time. I mean, he's the literal reason I looked at his YouTube channel. I said this on my Instagram. I looked at his YouTube channel. I was like, maybe I take what he does and I do it myself. I started off covering basically like mainstream things that were in the news, kind of commentary wise, and they're supposed to be many, and now they're not many anymore. It's like, what's the difference between a video essay and a regular commentary video at this point? But he definitely has helped me find my style by encouraging me inadvertently to do more commentary more consistently that's more like blatantly political. So obviously he's a huge inspiration in that regard. He's also fine as hell. Nobody should be that fine. I don't think that should be legal. I'm gonna be real honest. Nobody should be that attractive. Another YouTuber I love, well, I only really watch streamers, okay? So like Saikuno and Valkyrie, I love them so much. I think they're both big inspirations. Ray is like a big female creator, and she's like literally a celebrity at this point. Like, she was in Vogue. I look up to her a lot, obviously. Saikuno's story to me is just always so inspiring because he is so much like me. Like, he was isolated, had no friends, was doing a job he didn't like, and then he ended up in the streaming space after like Lily Pichu encouraged him to become a streamer, and he met all of these amazing people. And when I hear stories like that, I'm like, maybe there's hope for me, you know? Maybe this will bring me a certain, like the same outcome as Saikuno had. I also love D'Angelo Wallace. He's definitely influenced me to do commentary. Also The Right Opinion, I love. But I also want to bring up some smaller creators that I love, because as a fellow smaller creator, we need more love out there. I would love it if you guys would check them out, sub to them if you like them. But I love Kureha. They are honestly at this point popping the frick off. Last time I checked, they had like 20k subscribers, and they do Sims content, so it's not really, well, I do Sims content on my gaming channel, which if you don't know I have a gaming channel, you should probably subscribe to it. In that way, we are kind of in the same field, just not on this channel. But Kureha makes amazing, literally just TV shows, basically, but with The Sims. It's amazing. So talented. Ali Dreamer is another commentary creator, makes stuff about like fandoms. A little, sometimes, you know, she talks about like being gay and stuff that's kind of political, you know, arcane and gay relationships, and made a banger video on mouthwashing that popped the frick off. A great commentary creator. There's also Noon, I don't know how to say their name. Noon On. Posted on my community page before. They make videos on like anime and One Piece and the political aspects of that. So they're a great creator if you love One Piece and or anime in general and politics. And then there's also Cielica, who I found recently, who also does Sims content. I just think she's cute and she's a black girl and we gotta represent. So check all those creators out, follow them, show them some love. And now I want to do some rapid fire questions real quick. What is your comfort food? Go-to comfort food? Right now, it's butter chicken. That shit is fire. Favorite movie of all time? A Silent Voice, which I may or may not be making a video on. What are your favorite shows beside One Piece? I don't know, I don't watch TV shows, if I'm being quite honest with you. On your Instagram, you said you were writing a book. Anything you can share about that? Yeah, I've been writing it for 2 or 3 years at this point. I want it to be done and over with, but I have a long way to go. Girl, I'm on chapter 2, and it's been 3 years. Oh god. But it's about this teenage boy named Christian, and he's grieving over his mom, and each chapter is like the 5 stages of grief. It's real fun. I want it to kind of be A Silent Voice, like just a story that people can like resonate with and is beautiful. Maybe I can turn to like an animation one day, you know, we'll see. But every year, mostly in these videos are mostly always about reviewing goals and making goals. If you watch the one from last year, that's mainly what I did, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I'll share with you my 2024 goals. I posted them on my Instagram story, but in case you missed it, we'll go over it real quick. So I want to collab with a creator, which I did. 6k subs, I did. I have some like art stuff, but I ended up giving up on my art. I'm gonna be real honest. Well, not giving up on it, but like I don't like the business of selling art. I was doing like art fairs and stuff, and it just felt like I was pouring money into it and getting nothing back. I think it's just you do that for the love of the game, and I don't love the game, so I exited swiftly. So I had like commissions and like stuff about that. I mean, you can still buy it, it's up, but I am not investing time into that. I want to make consistent standalone social content, which I kind of did to some degree. I've been doing a sketch series on my Instagram and TikTok. I did some other stuff to like promote my art in the summer, so I kind of have. I want to do cover modeling, because I'm telling you, when I saw Valkyrie on Vogue, which is like a year or 2 ago at this point, but I was like, I want to do that, but I don't even know how you do that, and I don't know if I would like doing that. So, but I didn't do it. Start streaming. I'm too scared to stream, honestly. It sounds scary. I'm scared I'll look stupid or incoherent. I have trouble thinking and articulating things. There's a reason why I need a freaking 17-page outline sometimes to make a regular video, okay? I have to think it through to make the video good. And I guess streaming would make me better at that, and I've been encouraged to do it by people, but I'm scared, okay? Okay, I want to write more book scripts, which I did, but not as much as I feel like I could have, because like I said, I'm still in chapter 2 of my book, and it's been 3 years. I want to make crazy, exceptional content. Yeah, I did that. Push the boundaries. Maybe even election IRL interviews. I did that. I really thought that video would bang more, because I feel like content like that people really like, especially on like TikTok. Maybe it just works better as short form content than as a full form video. I don't know. But that video was so stressful for me to make and curate that I was like, if it just wasn't worth it, if it was gonna underperform. Okay, if I'm being honest with myself, it just wasn't worth it. That was so stressful. Okay, I had to go up to people. I had to make a script to go up to people and ask them to be in that video. I don't want to do that ever again. I also wanted to grow the community, do a Discord. I want to do organizing, which I do definitely think is important if I'm going to talk about like leftist politics. I think I should be more into organizing. I just don't know where to like start, but maybe this year. I think that's why streaming could be good, because I could do like charity streams, maybe that would be a good place to start. I don't know. Patreon, I've had a Patreon I think before last year, but I don't know what I meant by that. I also wanted to do a brand deal. Didn't happen. Maybe this year. I was contacted by some am I allowed to say this? I don't know. I was contacted by some people, but it never went anywhere. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know, but I'm gonna say it. I went to upgrade my setup. I did. I got my dream mic, the Shure SM7B. 500 subs on the gaming channel. Did not do. So like I said, subscribe. Most of 300. So if was it 8 more people subscribe, or 7, then I'll have at least 300. So maybe think about it. Okay, now for YouTube 2025, I wrote down my goals ahead of time, because I didn't want this video to take 3 hours to make. I already wrote some of them down. I might add more, but I really couldn't think of anything for the most part. But I'm thinking for my sub goal, this is gonna be, I don't know how I feel about this still to this day, but this is a big goal, but I think I could do it. Because every year consistently I've doubled my subscriber goal, which would mean that next year I would probably hit 12 or 13k. But I want more. And as I'm going to talk about later, I peaked early with the 6k and reaching my goal. And so I ended up being upset at myself about not getting further after that. So it was like, what was the point? If I was gonna hit the goal and still be upset, then I might as well just reach for the stars and still be upset. So 16k. Girl, I wanted to put 20k, but I was like, that's not happening. So this is a good middle between the two. 16k and then 1k for my gaming channel. I still believe that would be pretty great to have 2 monetized channels. That's a sub goal. I want to collab more, connect more with bigger creators this year. We're trying a brand deal again, seeing how that goes. Upgrade setup more. Like I said in my last video, I either want to build my PC or build a new PC or get a new camera, because this webcam, it's not the best. So I would like to change it one of these days, but my PC is, the storage size and all of that is really bad for having games and Adobe products and all of the things that I need. So I really need to build a new PC. That's just so expensive. So we'll see. I want to finish half of my book. And then for content, this year we did more more election content, very hard political stuff. It kind of stressed me out, honestly, if I'm being honest. It was a lot, especially that immigrant video. It hurts my soul. So I want to make more special interest, fun, banger content. I have a few things lined up that I'll share with you a little bit later. So like I said, I am a bit of a negative Nancy, and There were a few things this year that I think is important to share, just to be open and transparent with you guys about my thoughts and feelings, or even just for me to like look back on how I felt about this moment in my life. I've said this before, I compare myself a lot to other people, and I do it especially with YouTube. Like, I've had to set parameters on like YouTube Studio and just like forcing myself to not look at other people that are my size, because I will go a little, I don't know how to describe it. I just have a lot of anxiety about where I am at this point in my career, where I think I should be, I think is the best way to put it, and where I am. And YouTube has just always been so hard for me. It took 2 years for me to get monetized when I thought it would take much shorter amount of time. I don't know, it's always been a bit of a struggle, but especially like watching other people that are my size like surpass me and like, you know, pop the frick off, you know, that's when you have this issue, if you can relate, it's just very hard whenever you're like always comparing yourself. I just have an issue with people thinking about what other people feel about me. Like I said, mental illness is real, but I think I just look at those people and I'm like, I should be where they are. You know, why? Like I said, I reached 6K at the beginning of the year and I stayed there, and I really thought, I was so excited when I hit it because I thought that meant, oh, maybe I'll hit like 10K by the end of the year, and I didn't. And that was just a bit of a hard pill to swallow, feeling like I like peaked, and like, what if I never get, you know, 100K video again, or what if I never pop off again? But I do try and think about like my favorite creators like Sykkuno, who I think he was doing, you know, League of Legends content on YouTube for a long time before he even started streaming, and it wasn't until Among Us that he popped off. Or like Hassan has been a content creator since like 2014, or like an influencer on Instagram and stuff, and he didn't pop off till like 2021. So I try and think about people that I look up to and how long it took for them to get to where they are, and it just makes me feel better temporarily. But I think my YouTube career has shown that like I think there's been a lot of signs that are like, if you can get to this point, if you can get, you know, FD signifier to watch your video and basically get you monetized, and you can get the cryotic video to pop off, then obviously that's a sign that it can happen again. I think that's what the universe, or whatever you will, is trying to say to me, but I just don't listen. You know. I feel like if you don't have like anxiety or like depression, you just like cannot, I don't think it makes sense, maybe, I don't know. But if you know, you know. But I think it'll of course happen again. I hope so. I don't want to stay at 6K forever. But I have been thinking like the FD signifier people, well, I'm very thankful and grateful for that. I do wonder if they like dropped off, but they're still like subscribed to me. So I have 6K, but because that audience doesn't actually watch me, if that makes sense. It's not being reflected in the views, but I think I could be wrong about that. I don't know. But lastly, I want to talk about what's next for the channel, what 2025 will bring. If you are here still watching, I think you deserve a little bit of a sneak peek of what's to come. I have a few video ideas I'm going to share with you. But like I said, this 2024 was very heavily political, a lot of stressful political moments. I mean, it is kind of a stressful time with the election and Trump coming back into office and the rise of fascism globally. You know, it's very stressful, very horrifying time in society. So, and I actually did think about making a video about, because I did some writing on like Trump and fascism and comparing him to like Nazi Germany and stuff, but I was like, oh god, that just stresses me out. I don't want to even think about that because it's pretty horrifying, like the comparisons of what Trump is doing and his collaborations with like rich people and the immigration rhetoric. Obviously, I mean, there's so many things that are like so closely tied to what happened in Germany that it's quite horrifying. But like I said, this year I want to do more like fun videos that are more about like my special interests. There's this creator named Jacob Geller, some of you may know him, but he said, "And it's exhausting being a full-time political operative in this kind of sphere. I started doing this thing because I love writing about art and video games. I do really enjoy sometimes incorporating explicit politics into my writing, but if somebody told me this is what every video has to be, I think I would just burn out so much more quickly." And that's exactly how I feel after this year. I was like, this is a lot. And I also have a lot of fears about being perceived as blatantly political, because originally a lot of my inspirations commentary wise are just commentary channels, and I was trying to think of like, why are they just viewed that way, whereas I'm going more in the direction of like being viewed more explicitly political. I don't know, it just worries me. I don't want to hit like a ceiling because of that, but maybe that's just something I have to not be afraid of if this is the type of content I want to make, right? I feel like there's not a lot of like black women that are big, or black people in general that are big on YouTube. It's dominated by people that don't look like me, and I don't know. I'm already, because of that, not marketable, obviously. I just don't want to hit a ceiling. I think just finding ways to like work in politics to like more fun, like internet culture stuff and media analysis is definitely the way I want to go. So some video ideas. I want to do a video comparing why anime is just better. Talking about why anime is better than American animation, because I have a lot of grievances with the American animation industry, and I want to examine like why is anime better? Like, what are they doing that resonates with people globally that American animation isn't doing? I also want to do a video. This might be the video that I come back with in February, my next video essay. I'm thinking I want to examine the anti-woke agenda, specifically in gaming, because with like Stellar Blade and the controversy around that, and there's just Asmongold and his entire situations, there's just a lot of that popping up in specifically the gaming industry. It's very gamer-gatey in like this new age type of way, and I think that'd be kind of fun to examine. Maybe even just anti-woke agenda more on a broad sense. I don't know. I also want to make a video on liberal debate culture. I think that'll be a really interesting one, because I see this thing popping up on YouTube, like politically, the political content that pops off on YouTube nowadays is always debate stuff, like with Jubilee, with Destiny, with Lex Fridman, and I want to examine like why that is, or just look into that scene a little bit more. And then, like I said, I want to make a video essay on A Silent Voice and how it taught me not empathy, because I already hopefully knew empathy as a child, but just it's definitely a movie about rehabilitation and forgiving people that may have done things that are bad. Like it kind of just encompasses that aspect of my worldview so well, and I think it's a great movie for examining that perspective of like rehabilitation, being kind to people, allowing them to grow, because we all do stuff that we regret, and I think it's important to give people space to grow. So that's what's next for me. I also want you guys to give me feedback lastly on like the Patreon. Do you feel like if you're subscribed to the $10 tier, is it worth it? I thought about bringing down the price maybe one final time. I was either going to replace it, like make it $7 and get rid of my $7 tier, but I did think about using the $7 tier for my gaming portion. I don't know, I'm struggling, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe that should just be in the $5 tier. I don't know, I'm still thinking about it, so just let me know if you think it's worth it. Should I bring the $10 tier down to $7 to make it more worth it? Is there any extra content you want to see? The only thing I can't do is I can't make extra videos for Patreon, because I am a smaller creator. I do want everything I make to be shown to as many people as possible, and I also just don't have time for that. So, but if there's any extra things you want to include on the Patreon that I can do, leave it down in the comments. But as I alluded to, I will be taking my annual break during the month of January. I'll be back in February. with hopefully a banger video essay on probably the anti-woke agenda in video games or whatever. I'm sure I'll have a better title than that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys for an amazing year where we accomplished, like I said in the beginning, so much that I never could even fathom accomplishing. Hopefully 2025 will be even better and we'll reach new heights. So thank you all, and I will see you in February. Okay, bye.